morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night to everyone around the world. This is the Master Teacher Serene, and this channel is an educational channel. We talk about language exchange and culture. We talk about teaching. We talk about business and self-development. So today we are going to learn about education, and myself, I am an educator. I'm an ESL certified teacher, and I'm passionate about learning languages. So today I decided to talk about theories related to cognition. We all know that cognition is actually all the processes or all the procedures that we use to know, learn, understand, and apply knowledge, which is wisdom, right? So it's really important for parents, especially mentors, coaches, and pretty much all the instructors in the world to know the steps about how children and humans in general develop. So there are several theories about it, and today I'm going to talk about two of them. The first one is one French guy, I believe, called Jean Piaget, and he mentioned and developed the theory of stages of cognition development. And there's another guy called Vygotsky who actually added up to whatever Jean Piaget said, and he was more focused on the sociocultural development theory. So we'll start quickly with the Jean Piaget's theory of the steps or stages of cognitive development. The first step he elaborated was for children from 0 to 2 years old. Overall, the main concept here is that children learn by falling, right? So we actually acquire the capabilities, the IQ. We develop, we stimulate the brain to a certain piece where there is, you can expect to see certain result during certain ages of the development of children. So from 0 to 2 years old, we've got what's called sensorimotor. Sensory motors are basically the five senses. Children learn through the five senses, right? You see, children are there. If you give them some, they will try and eat it. They use their taste, they use their smell, they use their hearing, they use their smell, all the five senses that you all know. So this is pretty much what they do to learn things around them from 0 to 2 years old. Then from 2 to 7 years old, we've got what's called, according to Jean Plaget, he said preoperational. Preoperational basically means that children learn to pretend to or role play. Yeah, this is where they start to model the language. That's where they are really very much curious about life. They ask many questions, and that is why if you've taught at nurseries or pre-K schools, you will notice that at that very specific stage of life of children, a teacher has to model everything. They use a lot of TPR. They use a lot of they repeat themselves as much as they can to make sure that the children can try to role play, to imitate them, and they act in a certain way that really has to be appropriate for children, because this is the model part. This is where when you model the discipline, how to see it, how to clean themselves, how to do this, how to do that. So that's at that point, this is very critical for them to have a model. That is why mostly at lower level classes you have an assistant, right? You have a teacher that will be acting, projecting what the students are supposed to be, will be in charge of the discipline, will be in charge of an example, the model for the children. Yeah, and the more they understand the basics, then they can go in through now trying to communicate them actions and communication. You get to a point where they can now ask a lot of questions, and teachers need to help them to understand and give meanings to things. So the next step is from 7 to 11 years old. This one is called concrete operational. Concrete operational is basically when children start to understand concrete knowledge. You all know concrete knowledge, like colors, blue, we know all colors, right? It is what it is. And for example, um, it's you name animals, or you start to to learn mathematics. You learn the numbers, and then you can count money. These are concrete knowledge, and we use that every day. And this is it is what it is. But then at that specific age or level, depending on the child, but this is just what is kind of estimated, um, they might not be able to really understand abstract knowledge. Like maybe if you tell them to define success for them, they wouldn't be able to do that. If you tell them to define certain things, like maybe their purpose in life, their vision, to certain things that are a bit abstract that we don't have control over, at that point it's a bit more likely to not make sense to them. So this is concrete knowledge. Now we move to the next level from 12 years old. It is called from 12 years old, from 12 years old to whatever it is, maybe 18. This is called formal operational. Formal operational. This is where the child, no, first of all, from the 7 to 11 years old, the concrete knowledge. At that point, the child can reason because of the analysis, the resources that they've given them. They can, at that point, even if you come in and you tell them, the sky isn't blue because teachers say that the sky is blue sky, like maybe light blue or something like that, they will be able to debate with you because of the previous knowledge that they got. So they can start to reason at that point from the concrete operational. Now, from 12 years old, now they can start to think outside of themselves, outside of the environment around them. They get to the point where it's called here formal operational. They can understand abstract knowledge and concrete knowledge. They can think critically. They can also not just be egocentric. They can now start to think outside of the box. They can start to if you give them facts, they can start to project the end. They can start to predict what's going to happen next. At that point, they become more likely to grow forever. At this point, they become independent learners. They just need to add up more and more and more, but they have already gotten all the basics that they need, and they are at that level where they can self-teach themselves. Okay, so this was pretty much for the first theory about Jean Piaget, about the stages of cognitive development. Now we move on to the next theory from Vygotsky. Now this one talks about sociocultural development. He believes that, unlike Plaget, who thinks that men and kids or children and adults are not the same. Children need to learn from failing and all that. This guy, he believes, Vygotsky believes that it doesn't really depend on the age. It depends on the community. It depends on the social environment. It depends on the cultural environment. It depends on, whatever the child has been exposed to, that will push the child to become whoever he wants to become and to learn as much as he could at a certain age and even do better than what is expected from Jean Piaget. Because some children can complete university at 12 years old. Some children can complete college maybe 8 years old because of the environment, because of the things he's been exposed to. So he believes that social interactions is the main pivot, is the main, is the main source of nurturing what will happen to the cognition of the child. So basically, he defines some elementary mental functions such as attention, sensation, perception, memory to be the source or the resources that needs to be stimulated as much as possible for the child to now move to the next level, which is called higher mental function. Right? That higher mental function, the purpose of it is to get the child to be an independent learner and pretty much become more mature than the others, or more knowledgeable than the others, right? So I'll take some examples to illustrate what Vygotsky is trying to teach us here. So what he's trying to say is that let's take an example of two children. Maybe they are twins. Like let's say there is a female and a male, boy and a girl, twins. They are all zero, like they are all kids, right? If they grow up in an environment where children, like the females, are taught to be princesses, and they shouldn't be maybe working too fast. They shouldn't be. They should be putting on makeup. They should be focusing on their nails and all that. That child, if they are learning how to walk, the boy, on the other hand, will be exposed to maybe climbing trees, seeing others running, seeing playing the others playing soccer, seeing the male figures, being more masculine and all that. At that point, you will not be astonished to notice that by the time they reach 2 years old, the boy will be able to climb trees and all that, and the other will be shaking to walk. Or if not, they would be scared, or they wouldn't be able to do the same as the boy. Or let's say another example: if in the environment they teach one child to be focusing on watching the stars, thinking of trying to show the child to be maybe a god, trying to show the child to be very confident, trying to show the child to maybe start to learn about puzzles, play with things, toys that are very instructive, and so maybe some puzzles, some things that are very educational, and helps the child to develop faster intellectually. And the other child is an environment where they just let the child play, dance, listen to music, dance, piano, and all those kind of thingy. At that point, by the time they go, like they get to maybe like 3 years old, they go to kindergarten. There are certain things that one child will be able to do, will be able to communicate much more better, will be able to understand certain things better, and will be a little bit much more advanced than the child that was just taught to dance and wasn't able to learn certain things. Like in math, for example, they might be slowed down compared to the other one. So the environment really plays a very crucial role. And this is what he's emphasizing here, that parents, young parents, mentors, coach, or whoever that is into instructing young people should understand that the environment they create, the model they give to. In Africa, we used to talk to children, like if you want them to maybe start to walk, you say like and they start to jump kind of stuff like that. But this is very bad, because according to him, he believes that if you treat a child like a child, he will never grow. You need to treat a child as an adult, model to them. Make sure that you stimulate their senses as much as you can. At that point, they will be, little men. They be little men, right? So one thing I wanted to notice is like there are some parents who believe, or some people who believe that there are certain people that are more intelligent than the others. This is completely wrong according to this theory. I mean, the process of thought is wrong there. There is no a child that is more intelligent than the others. Technically, scientifically, we can accept the approach that because humans have about 2.5 million gigabytes of memory, which is like God's, right? We can memorize more than 7 languages, 10 languages from 0 to 6 years old, right? It's possible from the capacity of the brain we got. But most of us, most of humans, are into environments where they only, everyone is used to being average, and we pretty much use maximum is 10% of our capacity, of our brain capacity. And so basically, there is no child that is dumb or something like that. Technically, there could be some biological kind of problems for children that are born like that. There are certain things that parents are not supposed to consume or when they make children, because things like alcohol and certain things when you are pregnant might get into the child's brain, and the brain wouldn't develop properly. But I'm talking about children that have a normal brain that can be stimulated to get to their greatest potential. The community is one of the resources they got to push them to the limit and help them become the best versions of themselves for the future that they want, for the parents that the parents want for the children tomorrow. Yeah. So yes. So that was pretty much it. I will stop here today about the two theory. I'll say it back again. The Jean Piaget stages of cognitive development is structured in a sense that children are not men. Children are not adults. They learn through steps, through stages, and basically they learn by falling. But on the other end, Vygotsky stipulates that children can be men at any time. They can be little men at any time. Depends on who is around them. It depends on who they perceive to be themselves, how they see themselves, their perceptions of the world around them, their perceptions of themselves. Because from 0 to 12, a lot of inner talking happens for a child. If he doesn't have it through that young age, it will happen later on, but that's too late. It's supposed to happen when a child should define himself at a very young age. He should discover himself at a very young age. That's what makes him faster than the others. The speed would be different from a child who knows what he wants from a very young age and the one that does not know what he wants up until he gets 30. You will never grow, you never become an adult. You're still a child, but in an adult body. Yeah? So, sensation, pretty much the experiences that you're going to allow the child to live. The attention, yeah, technically in Africa we don't really say I love you, but we show love to children. We do show them that we love them. So that's something children need to know. Memory, this is something that they will remember. What is left of the children, because by the time they finish the first stage of the elementary mental functions, stimulations, and they go through the higher mental functions, which gets them to become independent learners. They wouldn't need the fact that normally from 12 years old, children don't learn from family anymore, from their mentors. They want more. If you are not interesting for the child, if you are not that educated, they will love you still, but they will not listen to you at all. Because teenagers, they don't listen, right? So they are independent learners. But if you did not put the right inputs in them, the memories that they will have of you, of their experiences, wouldn't help them, or wouldn't be solid enough to take them away from trouble. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to share. And yes, it was Master Teacher Serene from Tokyo, Japan. Ciao.